Here's a little preview of what we're going to cover today. If you're familiar with Bill Berry, those are his dogs. We were uh, we were fortunate that we way back when he made materials for us, and we've just started reusing them again just recently. So the sled dogs are some of our favorite logos that we get to put to use for the libraries. We'll talk about our popular apps that we have and a little bit of tricks and troubleshooting in there too, and how to get more help. And really today, this is more of a show and tell session than a how-to session. I want to show you the services that we have available to all patrons, but during the time and the format that we're offering this session, I won't be able to quite guide you individually when it comes to downloading content for your specific device. I can show you where to access help that you may need, and tomorrow I'll send an email to Barbara so she can make it available to you too, with just the different sites and locations of things that we discussed today, so that you'll know how to contact the library for a one-on-one tech session appointment as well if you're interested. We're able to do that on kind of a limited basis on Tuesdays and Thursdays, but it is just a session that we book with individuals to help them with any assistance that they may need with digital materials. So again, those three big services: Libby by Overdrive, and there's RB Digital and Hoopla. They all have kind of slightly different looks to them, but they feel similar to one another, and we'll see that too in the demonstration that I'll give you as well. All books can be checked out for 21 days on each of these platforms. You can use all three of them on your computers, whether they're your PCs or your Macs or your laptops, anything goes. And they all have help functions that are built within. So there's always a place for you to search for help within each of the big providers. I'll talk a little bit about each one of these services before we go take a look at them live and online. First of all is Libby by Overdrive, available with ebooks and audiobooks. And this is brought to you by the Alaska Digital Library, which is our state consortium library. And I believe this one, I didn't really look. I bet you there's more than 29,000 items that are available now too. It's been expanded just recently by a purchase of RB Digital.
I think my app, I have the Overdrive from a long time ago, but it doesn't have the Libby thing on there.
Right. Just know that Overdrive is kind of like that was like the big head parent company of it. And then they developed Libby. And Libby is just kind of it's a bit more user friendly.
Okay.
You will access the same materials with either of them. And you can, if you've already got Overdrive, you just need to get the app for Libby too. That's fine. And Libby's got just a few more kind of functions that are available. It kind of feels like the new and improved Overdrive application really is what it is too.
Okay, so I'll upgrade
it. Access to the same collection. Yeah. And just a little bit there, the 7 checkouts at a time and up to 5 holds on your account. You get to choose your loan period of 7, 14, or 21 days. You can create your own tags, which is similar to making lists, kind of like reminder lists for yourself of things that you may want in the future. Multiple users with multiple library cards in one app. We always tell people, go ahead and download all 3 of these. There's no limit, or you don't have to just choose one. You can have all 3 of these applications. You can put them on to up to 6 devices per library card. So we suggest get them all and put them everywhere. That's fine. Let me skip ahead to RB Digital. So RB Digital they were an individual platform that offered audiobooks, ebooks, and magazines. But they were bought out by Overdrive earlier this summer. I think it was July. So there was a kind of a merge. So all of the accounts for RB Digital just went into Overdrive Libby. And now all of the content that was available through RB Digital is now available through Overdrive. However, they did not do a big switchover with a major part of their collection, which is magazines. So still separate and on its own is RB Digital, and it's just magazine content. And recently we expanded the collection. We decided this is being used quite frequently and we would like to offer more to our patrons. So before, I think we had something like, I think it was 800 magazines that were available, but we chose the upgrade. So now there's access to over 3,200 magazine titles. Same thing, just to register via the RB Digital application. What's nice about this one is there's an unlimited checkout and loan period for the number of magazines that you want, and you do not have to return them. They will take up space on your device, keep that in mind, but you can keep that title as long as you would like until you just get rid of it on your device. Same thing, that they can go to all your mobile devices and your computers, and also managing the multiple profiles, so more than one user is fine too. With Hoopla, we like to think of them as your kind of everything else connection. Think of them for your movies, television shows, music, and they offer comic books on their platform as well. They do have audiobooks and ebooks as well, but probably not quite as many as what you're going to find with Libby Overdrive. The one thing about Hoopla is it's an instant checkout in that you don't have to wait for any materials. Whereas with Libby Overdrive, it's very much like coming into the library. If I've already checked out a book that was on the shelf and it's not there anymore for you to take home that day, you can place a hold on the item. With Hoopla, you and I can be watching the same TV show at the same time. That's fine. There's no limit, so to speak, on how many lendings they have for each item and at what time. It is a little bit different in that there are 5 checkouts per calendar month. So from the beginning of the month, it starts over with 5. And then once you either use up your 5 or the end of the month comes, then the cycle starts over again at the beginning of the month with another 5 items. They do have a 21-day checkout for books, same as Overdrive, but 7 days with the music and just 72 hours with your movies and TV shows. We'll go through a few troubleshooting things here for you too, now that we've talked a little bit about each of the 3. But like I said, we're going to go look at those too online here in a moment. And I just encourage you all to play with these 3 at any time to get familiar with everything that they offer. If you're not ready to create an account or just want to take a look at them, then this is just a great way to start looking at their sites too. A few things that you want to ask yourself: you will need a current library card with an email address so that they can contact and correspond with you. And you want to make sure that you know your PIN number for your library card. And you can always give the circulation desk a call to access any of that information too. And just making sure that your library card is in good standing, or did you replace it anytime recently? One more is how much memory is on your device. Can it hold what it is that you're looking for? And then just down below there, we've got a few examples of average file sizes too. So you just want to make sure that you've got enough room on your device to do what it is that you're looking to do. A few more troubleshooting here. Just some quick tips. Anytime with technology, we always suggest if something isn't working, just close out that app, completely log out of it. Just go to the settings and say that you want to log yourself out. Sometimes just starting over fresh is a great help. Keep everything updated with your operating system. Are things running slowly? Just close anything that you're not using at that time that you're using these, fairly kind of big requirement programs and applications that we have too. And what's the power of your device? Yes, things do become kind of strange when the battery power starts going low. And also, and really as a last resort, but I often suggest this as a first too, is to shut everything down completely, not just your app, but your device. Wait for a few seconds and then go ahead and start it all up and try again. There down at the bottom is an example of the information that I'll have in that email that I'll send out to Barbara about booking a librarian, giving us a call, or if you're stuck anywhere along the way, you can give us a call and we can help you out with it too. Like I said, today is just kind of more of a show and tell, but if you start playing with everything and find out that you get stuck somewhere along the way, feel free to contact us anytime. So I do want to show you what these look like when they're online. It's best to access each of these services through us, the library, at fnsblibrary.org. That's our website right up there. This is an example of what's going to pop up just as soon as I click on that. So let's make sure my link is working here. Now we're online. I'm sure some of you are familiar with us here at fnsblibrary.org. I will give you the warning, however, that this page won't look like this much longer. So if you are familiar with it, know that there's going to be a change. If this is one of the first times you've seen it, just know that when you log on sometime in the near future, I think it's right before Thanksgiving, it's going to be changing because the borough wanted to change all of the borough services. So I give you this with the caveat that depends on when you log on next. It may or may not look this way. So if you don't mind change and want to start playing with these applications right away, jump right in. Or if you just want to wait till sometime around Thanksgiving weekend and want to see what it's going to look like all in its new state, just tune in. Tune in then is fine too. So right over here at the top, we see the Get Materials, which is where, amongst other things, our digital items live. So we're going to click there. And throughout this page, we're going to scroll through. I'll show you some of the things that we talked about earlier here. This is that section. If you're interested in getting items from the library, you can request the personalized librarian selector service. There's a form that's here when you click on it so that you can let us know based upon your suggestions and what it is that you're looking for. We will select for you at either North Pole Branch or Nolween. And we can get up to 10 items for you. It could be any combination of books, audio, magazines, DVDs. We can do 10 items per request per day. And you just need to fill out the form, let us know what you're interested in, and then we take those suggestions and browse the stacks for you and come up with a stack. And the circulation desk gives you a call to let you know when the items are available for pickup. And then you'll come to the parking lot at Knollween to pick them up from the bookmobile parked out in the parking lot. Or at North Pole, you give them a call when you're in the parking lot, and then they bring it out to a table for you too. But we are happy to provide this service for you during this time. We know how it's so different not to get those kinds of materials that we all like to have on hand, and we know that it's different asking someone else to do it, but just know that we love to do it as well. And we spend a lot of time with our collections, so we know a lot about it, and we're happy to provide this service for you. Over here on this side, if you do not have a library card in hand, we do have a temporary e-library card, which is good just for these digital items that we're talking about today. It's not good for picking up physical items from the library, but you can get yourself a temporary e-library card so that you can enjoy the digital services too. Scrolling down here just a bit, if you have a specific item that you want to request from the collection, tell us exactly what it is, what you want, and we can place a hold for you. There's grab and go bundles for kids and for teens available at Knollween and a North Pole branch. And it's kind of a, you let us know what grade level you're looking for, and the folks in the Berry Room pick out a stack for you and have it ready for you within a couple of days. But right down here, we're talking about e-materials. And these are the three that we were talking about with Libby and Overdrive with their own tab here, RB Digital here, and Hoopla here. This part down below I'm going to come back to in just a moment once we visit each of these sections, but I want to show you what they look like live when you visit them. So right up here on this tab for Libby and Overdrive, we're going to click on visit adloverdrive.com to browse the digital collection. And we are in. This is their home kind of landing page. This is where you would sign in. But after a while, you know, your devices know who you are too. But if I wanted to sign in, I would sign in right up here. And let me scoot this over a bit. Here we go. With right up here, as you see the Alaska Digital Library, just keep in mind that with digital services that libraries offer, there are more services out there that other libraries have a choice in offering to their patrons. The state has chosen Libby Overdrive, and we, the Fairbanks North Star Borough, have chosen RB Digital and Hoopla. There are a few other services, just one that comes to mind, I can't think of all their names right now, but one is called Freegal, and it's very similar to Hoopla, but it's something that other libraries have subscribed to or have subscriptions to. We chose Hoopla instead of them. So just know that there are several other, if you've got friends in other parts of the state, then they may be talking about different digital services they have as well. But also keeping in mind they're all very similar in their offerings as well. So with Alaska Digital Library, this collection is available to all libraries within Alaska. So it's pretty big in that it's serving many, many customers. And right across the top here, I'll show you just what it has underneath the collections tab. You'll see these big headers of special for kids and teens. Here's the ebook category. Here's the audiobook category. They do have some featured lists that are over here too. Within these sections, you'll see if there's items that are available now is one of them. That can be a good place to start browsing or looking. Or same with if you were looking for ebooks and just wanted to look at all the fiction that was available, or all the nonfiction, or the popular ones, or the newest ones that are here. And there's more. So when I clicked on that, it showed us each of these tabs of what's available now. Here's all the fiction that's in here. Here's all nonfiction. This is great. Think of this as you're just walking through the stacks and you're seeing what's on the shelf. However, it's not a very well organized shelf. There's not, these aren't according to author or subject. I think mostly it's based upon popularity is what it is. So if you just wanted to browse and take a look, this is where you could start. I would suggest looking for something specifically, perhaps, is also a good place to start. If we wanted to see if Little Women was available here through Alaska Digital Library, I'll show you what it looks like with a search. Shows us that we've got 201 results for Little Women. That is a pretty broad search that I put up there. This may or may not be Alcott's Little Women. It could just have something to do with a title or a subject or a field that has Little Women. But it's going to put up probably some of the most popular ones up front. And here's what I was kind of thinking of when I was thinking, does this Alaska Digital Library have Little Women? And you can see here too if it has, here's the ebooks that are available. Here's the audiobooks that are available. And if we just look at all of these different, each one of these represents a different record, a different holding of this title of Little Women. You'll see across the top bars, kind of helpful, it will tell you if there's a wait list for the item or if the item is currently available. Remember that this is Overdrive and Libby. So it's very much like coming into the library where there might be the item on the shelf ready for you to pick out, or you may have to place a hold. In this case, this ebook right here is available right now, whereas this audiobook would require a hold placed on it. Let's just take a look. I want to show you what one of the descriptions for a title looks like. So if I click here, it lets us know the format of this item. It gives us some of the subject titles here. It's letting us know that it's in English. It gives a description down here, which is usually just a nice little blurb about the item. Details gets more specific about who's published this specific title. And very specific file sizes and just release date information that's on it too. If you want reviews, there will be some reviews listed here as well, oftentimes more than one, or a link to others as well. Here's that place where you could add it to a wish list. If you want to add it to your history, that would be, so if it was something that you had recently checked out and wanted to remember something that you had checked out, you can add it to your history. You can always read a sample of the item. This will show us what it will look like. There we go. It's just, let's see what a preview, there we go. And then if you wanted the title, you just click borrow here. I don't know, am I signed in? Here's a good example. After you've registered with Alaska Digital Library, then you will choose your library. That's us, Fairbanks North Star. And then we can put our card number in here. And I've got one that is a training card for us. So let's take a look. It's my training account. And so now that I've logged in, I can choose how many days I want to keep this for. It will automatically return. You don't have to worry about returning things or due dates on anything. Just choose how many days you want to keep it for, and that's how long you will have it till it automatically returns. I'm just going to say a quick one here because I don't want to keep it for too long for anyone who may really want it. And then I just hit borrow. Then I hit my download. And here it downloaded onto my computer. So if I click it here, I can give you an example too of what it looks like once you've downloaded it to. There we go. There's this slider bar that's across the bottom. So you just take it and turn your pages there. I've got kind of a wide screen, so it spills it all out for 3 pages for me there. But that's what it would look like when you've downloaded to your device, your computer. I think this is my exit. I hope I don't get rid of everything. There we go. So that's an example of what a search would look like in Overdrive. And like I said, you can just go to collections and you can just browse what's there. If you're just interested in seeing what's available now and you want something right away and you don't want to place a hold, you can just click that available now and it will show you everything that's available instead of having to place a hold on the items. Again, I encourage you just to come in and browse and take a look. Whether you do decide to register for it or not, you still can look around quite a bit to see what's available and just use these search features without having to be registered for any of the services.
Michelle, I have a question.
Yes.
I've had Overdrive for a long time, had to redo something because I renewed my library card and now it's logged into another website that looks different. It looks different from this sort of, but anyway, when I tried to borrow something, an audiobook, it said not in this library, but try another library. So
it may be, we suggest that anytime that you want to use these services, that you go through us at fnsblibrary.org, that you go through us here to access any of those. Because sometimes you could visit these sites also kind of like they're big companies, so that they show everything that's available that they offer, but not necessarily what your library has a subscription to. So
okay.
sometimes that can be the difference. I'm wondering if that may be what it was. You said that it said not at this library, but check another library.
Yeah, it did. And I was wondering, do I need to, well, I didn't go through the library site, the Noel Wien site,
Yeah.
so I'll try that too and see.
I'm thinking maybe that could be it, that it's letting you know that it can read your IP address too and kind of know where you're coming from. And it might know that, oh, you don't have access to this, but maybe you should try another library. And sometimes people too, if they've got multiple libraries, I know that too, a lot of our users will have another location, another library somewhere in the States that they're using too, and then they have a separate account. And they'll come back here and think that they can use that same one,
Yeah.
but you can't. So like it's library specific, so it's always best to go through us through these to get to them, or once they're on your device, it's usually that just by opening up that app that you're using that one that's associated with us.
Since we paused here for a question, we have one from Helen Howard.
Oh,
she
sure.
wanted to because we are submitting some questions to the chat room. Helen wants to know what happens after she places a hold on an audio book. How will she be notified?
Oh, she either, let me see if I can jump back in here. Right up here, I can show on each one of these too where your information lives on each of the sites. This little stack here shows you what you've currently got on loan. So you could always look in there to see what you've got currently downloaded, what you have access to. If it is a hold, they will send you an email that you have registered with. So that's the way that they will let you know that a hold is available. And I think it would also appear in here. It would say if I had an item that was on hold, and sometimes it gives an approximation of how long that wait is, not always. But you can just check this little bookshelf that's here within Overdrive. That's what theirs looks like. I'll show you what the others look like as well too. But this lets you know that you've got something checked out here. So that's where it's telling me that I can have 6 more titles at this time because I have this one that's checked out right now.
Thanks, Michelle.
Sure. And then that's about all the kind of preview that I had for you for Libby and Overdrive. Again, we're just kind of glossing over these so that you're familiar with what they look like when you visit them on your own. I want to go to RB Digital. Remember, they're the ones all about magazines now. Used to have audio and ebooks, but now just magazines. They're reminding you to get started with Libby because that's where they're at now. So now with RB Digital, there may be other RB Digital accounts within the state from different libraries, but that's for their patrons. This is for our patrons. So for the people who live in Juneau, I'm not too sure what they've got for digital content, but they would not have access to this site through us, through RB Digital. It's because this is just for our patrons that we are spending our money for our patrons for this service. So here's RB Digital with their magazines. And I believe it's kind of sparse. You're not going to find quite the detail that you will with Hoopla or with Libby Overdrive as far as browsing and what's available too. It's a, like I said, a little sparse. I'll show you how. So this is their landing page. This is where you start from the get-go. Magazines, it says. And I believe the way they have this listed right now, it's not by topic, it's not alphabetical. I believe it is by popularity on what our users are using most frequently, and it puts it kind of ranked like that. So New Yorker is the one that gets the most checkouts with us, and then Newsweek, and then New Scientist. So that's the order when you hit the landing page for magazines. If you want to do a little browsing and select a magazine, there's a couple of different ways to do it. This Explore button here on the side gives you this filter. And again, kind of sparse, like I said, it's either you can sort by genre or language. So we'll go to genre. I'll show you what it looks like. And it gives us these categories. Let's choose, I'm going to show crafts down here. Let's take a look at what's in the crafting category. So here it shows us there's going to be 2 pages of crafting. And these are all the magazines that are associated with crafting. So it goes on for a couple of pages here. I don't know how many this holds, 20, 30 some per page, I think. And then we could go on to the second page as well. But let me just choose, let's just choose one of these here. Some origami at home sounds good. So we're just going to choose that magazine. And this is the current issue, the one first 2016. It might be that this one is no longer in publication, but the back issues are still available. If I look at one that's probably, I'm pretty sure Knits is current. Let's take a look at that so I can show you that. The issue date right here of October 22nd. And it gives us a description of the publication is always right down here. Again, there's some details about where it's published, when. This one with all issues will give you all back issues of this publication, which are available for checkout too. And remember, no limit on the number of magazines you can check out, just kind of based upon your device's capacity. There's no return on these. There's not going to be an expiration date. You don't have to choose a return date. It's going to stay on your device as long as you let it live there. So same thing, I'm going to say check out here. And did I leave him in here? I probably didn't, so let me see if my Timmy trainer will. Borough Public Library. I think that's all I need for a username anyway. And each of these is going to be a little bit different with your login. Some require a username. Some just want a password. Some want your email and a password. So just keep track of everything that you've got for your passwords and emails, and you'll be fine. Whoops. Oh, maybe he wants. Forgot my dog part. Think it was that. Please? Oh. Maybe not. See, this is so when you feel like nothing goes right, you can see that it happens to everybody all the time. Oh, goodness. Well, sorry I don't have his right address right now, but we would see the magazine just open up very much like that book did for us too. And it comes with all the ads, all the pages, everything that's in that issue is what you're going to see for magazines as well. Also up here at the top, you can do a search for something. Let's say we were interested in cat magazines. Not too sure why publications came up here. For some reason, it's associated with a cat somehow, but here's those. There's a lot of coloring books that are in here too, which is fabulous if you just want to print them off from your own computer and have coloring pages. You can just choose the page that you want to print for it too. But I think maybe it was Dog that I looked for. Dog magazine? I thought I had some. Let's see. So there's Gun Dogs. But I noticed, and there's Dog Care. I see that we don't have perhaps the one that I've seen on our shelves at the library. Oops. That's called Dogster. But it says no titles found. So while there still are over 3,700 magazines that are available, you will find that not all of them are available. I typed in Time so we could see if there was Time magazine, but it's not. So there are some magazines that are not available through RB Digital as well. But again, go ahead, jump in and take a browse and see what's available. I'm going to move on to Hoopla. Again, think of Hoopla for your television shows, movies, music, and comic books. Those are the four things that they offer. Oops, there we go. That they offer that the other two services do not. There are audiobooks and ebooks that are in here as well, but they're just probably not as many, and they're not likely the popular ones that you will find available in Overdrive Libby. I think I'm already logged in here right now, so it says that I can borrow 4 more titles this month. Again, slightly different look for your search and what's available and their website, but again, similar in content that you can browse the sections. Here's all the sections you can just take a look at. If you wanted to look specifically for something, you could leave it open to everything, as in all of these items that are available. And we wanted to see what Little Women had over here, let's say. Again, some ebooks and some audiobooks. The only difference now is there's not going to be anything on here that says place a hold. Through Hoopla, all items are available at all times. If we wanted to just take a look, I'll show you how their browse looks in, let's say, television. I'm already there. It's got your recommended categories, your featured categories, your popular categories. You can pick, oh, it will just put what's popular here in order of popularity, I believe is the way it does it there. I think also, I'm looking for my one section that shows me a whole lot of, oh, you can choose just kid stuff too if you want to narrow it down just a bit. They've got that there as well. I'm looking for, oh, here we go. There's an advanced search, so you can look by performers or certain keywords, release dates, languages, a certain type of series or publisher if you know it, or your ISBN numbers. The one section I'm looking for, which I've of course found earlier, it will break it down so that it shows you just all of the categories, like all of the comedies will be together, all of the British BBC selections will be together. It has a big section, and now, like I said, I'm not seeing. Let me see if I can find it in movies. Oh, I bet you it's here. There we go. I wanted to find this one specifically in television for us. So here's our categories. These are their top categories, but these are all their categories. So you can just click on one of these so that you can see what's available in that category. I'm going to choose comedy over here. Again, each one of these represents a separate holding, a separate title of that item. You'll see it that looks like this. It's got the same kind of looking cover to it for 800 words, but there's season 1, there's season 2, over here season 3. Gonna pick out one of my favorites in here, Detectorists. Show you what the record for it looks like. So again, it's going to break down all the information about just this title for us, kind of the blurb and description of it here. Some reviews, a little bit about the cast and the director. So, oh, and down here, it will give you each of the episodes summaries for it too, and where you can borrow it as well. So I'm going to click on borrow here. And now it's mine. I didn't, like I said, there's no holds that are through Hoopla, so everything is available all the time. And I think I started playing it here earlier. But I've got, it's kind of quiet, but it'll just play there on your device, and it's nice. You can just skip ahead or you can move back. Titles too, if you want them. Your volume there. So that's Hoopla 2. Oops, I was going to take it back over to, goodness, I got so many things open here. Oh, there it is. If we come back. So same thing, just get in and explore your categories that are available or searching for anything as well. And kind of think of them for, it's probably the way that we have the service set up to, it's 5 items per card per month. And so you would get your TVs and movies for 72 hours and your books still for 21 days or your music for 7 days. I want to show you one other spot here, back to our slideshow. That's one way to search for the items that are available digitally. The other way to find e-materials is through our catalog. I'm going to jump over there for a moment. Some of you are probably familiar with the browsing of our catalog. This will remain the same. From what I understand, the catalog will still look like this. It's not going to change like the big website is, but our catalog portion will remain the same. When you're searching for digital content through our catalog, it's a little bit different in that I want to show you all collections versus Fairbanks North Star Borough Public Libraries. I'm going to leave it as all collections here. And let's say we were looking for Harry Potter. Here it's going to show us everything that's available through all libraries. And I left it pretty broad here with my all fields with Harry Potter so that I got a whole lot of results. But I wanted to show you right down here where you can break these down when you're searching too. The vendor lets you know if there is a digital format that is available. So if you're in our catalog and you've got a title in mind and you wanted to search for it here, if you look down on this left-hand side to see the vendor, you'll see if there is a digital version that is available. And here it tells us that we've got Hoopla and there's Overdrive that's got some sort of association with Harry Potter here. So if I scroll down just a little bit, we'll see here, oh, there's something with Hoopla Music, I Love Harry Potter. It says that they've got one available. Oh, okay, we might keep that in mind. Or we might go down a little bit further and see that there's a Hoopla ebook that's available too. I'm going to find one that doesn't say Hoopla next to it, for goodness sake. Let's see. Pretty much all Hoopla coming up here. There's just some books and there's some video games. Let me come back up here to the top. So it said that there's Hoopla that's available with some things with Harry Potter. However, we left it open to all collections. If something tells you that it's available in Hoopla, be aware that that could be another library that does have subscription services to Hoopla, but it's not necessarily us. If you want to know if it's really us, say FNSB Public Libraries, and now hit your search. And you'll notice that spot where it said right here in the middle, the vendors has disappeared. So that Hoopla no longer shows up, which means that we don't have that available in Hoopla's format. I always suggest to patrons, if you're looking for a specific title for something that you want digitally, go straight to that source. Go to your source for either Overdrive and Libby or Hoopla or RB Digital and look within that search like the ones that I was showing you prior instead of doing it in here. This, it can be a little hit or miss, and it can also be a little confusing in that it says that it is available, but then you get there to Hoopla and find out that it isn't available. It's always best just to check through directly through those searches that you have available through that vendor instead of here.
Can we
Yes,
take a few questions?
yes, please do.
From Alice, Hoopla would be downloading movies or TV series onto your computer. If you're limited in memory, is it easy to delete the movies when you're done?
Yes, it is. And I do not prefer to watch television shows and movies on a little teeny tiny screen. Some people are okay with that. I always think of that in airports when I see, or in airplanes when I see people watching content on their phones, and that's fine. But it does, yes, it'll work there. It'll work on your tablet. It'll work on your laptop. It'll work on your PC at home. So yes, those are all spots that you can receive.
From Amit, do the movies have the extras that are on DVDs, like commentaries, special features, etc.?
I would say not often. You'll find, and I was kind of surprised by this one time, even when I checked out material from a Redbox some time ago, And I thought, well, surely there are extras and bonuses and features. But no, they don't offer those through the vending service. There's a different, that's kind of a different copy than what you would find if you went to the store to buy it or if you checked it out from the library. So kind of same thing with Hoopla. Maybe, maybe not. Mostly you're just going to find the content of that television show's episode or the content of just that movie, not so much the bonus features. Good questions. One thing that I did want to point out here when you are searching within the catalog, however, if it says vendor and it's Overdrive, you've got access, just like everybody else in the state also has access to it as well. Overdrive and Libby is the one that is subscribed to on behalf of the Alaska State Library System. So all libraries do have access to that content. So if you're searching here and you find that Overdrive has something by Harry with Harry Potter in it, you will see it on here. And you do see this online access right now says 0. I want to show you just the content of one of these records as well and how it looks a little bit different from what we saw in Overdrive. It will have the description of the material that's here, but kind of sparse in the rest of the information. This one's the most important. It's telling you that availability is 0 right now. So that one's not available to check out. You would have to place a hold on it too. Which, when you're using, you can use from here. That's my information about my account. So I'm going through our catalog to say that I want to place a hold on an item. And so it's telling me the title here, the format, and that it's going to send me an email to that address when it becomes available. If I wanted it, I'd place hold. I don't want to right now, so I'm just going to say cancel. But you can do that from here if you have all of your library card number and your PIN number entered at this spot. I'm going to scoot back here, back to our catalog. Again, like I said, I suggest going through that provider's search specifically, because this can be a little bit misleading, or if you're not familiar with exactly who has what, or don't necessarily mark all the right boxes in the right place, it could lead you to believe that something is available when it's through Hoopla, but it really isn't available to our patrons necessarily. So I always suggest just going straight through, this is Hoopla's website here, and searching for something right there in the search box instead. Take us back to our slideshow here. We're almost ready to wrap things up. That's really the basics that I wanted to share with you today and what these services offer. I'm going to leave this up at the very end, but I did want to show you one spot so that if you're having difficulties in downloading any of these applications to any of the devices that you have, within the email that I'm going to be sending tomorrow, but also I want to show you what it looks like online as well. If we are, oops, I don't want to take you to the catalog. Remember back here, let me scroll up to the top just to show you one more time. This was under the Get Materials tab on the home page at fnsblibrary.org. And scrolling down here just a little bit is where we saw those e-materials, where you would click to Libby and Overdrive or RB Digital or Hoopla. This last tab right here at the end, e-material assistance appointment request. Click here if you want to get a hold of us to say, hey, I need some help with some digital services. You're going to always give us a phone call. I've got our number that I'll pop up at the end there too, and my number also. Feel free to contact me anytime, leave me a message. But if you want to book an appointment online, right here is the tech appointment request. And when I click on it, it'll pop up here so that you just enter your name, email, and phone. what it is that you're interested in receiving digital content, and what kind of device do you have to set it up on. You can provide us any additional information that's here. And once you hit that submit button, it goes to our notification board so that we get it right away. And we're usually able to contact you within 1 business day of receipt of that, so that we could set up a tech appointment with you, which at this time would not be in person. It would be very much like this, a Zoom appointment, so that you would have one-on-one assistance with one of our librarians to help you with downloading information or downloading those applications to a specific device. There's one other place that if you want to walk through on your own, back up here again, we're still in the Get Materials, and down here towards the middle. In each of these tabs for each of those vendors, there's these sections right here that say for an illustrated step-by-step installation guide for Libby. This one says for RB Digital. This one says for Hoopla. So there's one of these in each of the sections based upon which service it is that you're looking for assistance with. So let's just choose Hoopla here. And we go to these LibGuides. And these are online publications that we have created to help you with a variety of services. So we're going to click on this one that says your device, or I'm sorry, this is for your device's app store to get Hoopla, but this is the illustrated step-by-step installation. That's the one that I want to show you right here. So this popped open to our digital discovery pages. There are many of them for you to choose from if you ever want to browse. They're right here. But this one's just about Hoopla. And it's how to install Hoopla on your device. So here's your Apple devices, here's your Android devices, here's your Fire, here's your Nook. Let's say you've got a Nook, click on that tab, and we've made step-by-step, and it kind of goes, it doesn't go back and forth, like, doesn't read left to right, it reads top to bottom. So it gives you a screenshot for that device for each step along the way. So there's your step 1, your step 2. Things are highlighted in pink, so anytime that there's a spot for you that asks you for information, it'll highlight the area to tell you where to fill it in. And I just want to scroll down to the bottom. Just know that these are pretty big. It's really helpful, though, if you've got a computer and you've got your device in hand. If you log on to this LibGuide, that'll give you a step-by-step how-to, and then have your device open, you should be able to get there. This one's in a mere 22 steps for the Nook, but just know there's a lot of steps there, but it's breaking it down into each screen for you for each step along the way. Again, this is also available in that same, in that same spot. I just gotta click back a few pages here of where we were looking at those e-materials. And then under each tab, it's available for each service that we have of how to download those onto your specific device. And I'll have that with the email too that I'll send out tomorrow. So it'll just be within links also, so that you can just click on them and it'll take you directly to that spot here within our website.
Can we ask a few more questions?
Yes.
2 from Mary Ann. She has Overdrive. Does she also need to download Libby?
Not if you don't want to. You've already got access to all materials that Overdrive offers by having Overdrive. With Libby, just think of her as a slightly more user-friendly application, I would say. She's got a few more bells and whistles than Overdrive does. Overdrive was kind of, the introductory to those services, and then they developed Libby. And so Libby's just got, like I said, a few more features that she has in there. And really, if you've gotten accustomed to Overdrive and you like it, you don't have to download Libby. But if you want to see what kind of extra tricks Libby has up her sleeve, then you can download that one too, and choose whichever you prefer.
Okay, and are any of these more likely to have recently published books?
Yes. With Overdrive, Libby, think of them for your kind of your hot titles. Your more recent releases are going to be there as opposed to Hoopla. With Hoopla, I kind of like to think of them as their deep dive discoveries, in that you're going to find things in there that will be hidden gems, most definitely. But it's not going to be the hot titles that you're thinking of. So think of Overdrive Libby for your more recent releases that are there, and that goes for audiobooks and ebooks, both of those within their platform, as opposed to Hoopla that probably has a bit more obscure kind of titles too, I would say. So if you're looking for the hot new releases, think of Libby and Overdrive.
Okay, and another from Amit, what are the security and or privacy terms with these providers? If I give them my email, can I expect spam? Do they have the right to sell my information? What if I only have a desktop Apple?
Yeah, you would definitely, again, it's user beware, I would say. Check within each of their disclosures what they do have, you know, that big long form that you agree to. It's pretty good in that I'm quite certain the spam that I'm receiving is not something that I got through subscribing for digital content. It's pretty good. Again, you know, it's always user beware of these kinds of items too. And then what was the follow-up question?
Well,
about
the last question I didn't interpret correctly. It was
okay.
supposed to be, I guess, if downloading the app is possible for a non-Apple desktop. Amit, why don't you just open up your unmute yourself?
So I saw that there was directions on how to download it for an thing and for a Nook, but I don't have any of those.
Okay, what would you be using it on?
A laptop.
Yeah, yep. There is one other section. If we can jump back up there to it too. Let me get back into it. Let's look at Libby's here installation guide. Sorry. Let me scoot back one. I think it's this one. Here we go. This is kind of a bigger overview for e-materials at your library, and this one specifically is about Libby. This is that same section that I was showing you, but it says, let me get down to it. This is the Libby app. Oh, here it is. There are links to it also. So here's the Libby one. And if you wanted to get your Windows 10 for your desktop or for your Microsoft Store, you can just click on one of those to get the same. You just fill out the type of operating system that you have, and it'll download it for here too. So they're all links that we have available, not just for phone devices, but also for putting it onto your laptop or to your computer at home. They're available there too. It's just not on that same. Always got to look here. Here we go. It's not on that same spot where I was showing you the. Oh my goodness. I got way too many things open. I'm going to close some stuff here. Here it is. The same spot. There is the one that says for your devices App Store. But if it's for your computer, just click on the one that's a little bit higher up that says it's an overview for this service that's available in there.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Anything else for burning questions? I'll pop up. Here's our phone numbers. There's our website for the library. Again, like I said, that format, it's going to look a little bit different come, I think it's November 20. I want to say it's the 23rd, but I know that it's during Thanksgiving week, so that's going to look a little bit different. There's our phone number, and that's the phone tree. So when you get it, just select the reference desk. I'm there some of the times. You can always ask for me, or anyone who works at the reference desk is able to help you out with any digital download questions you may have. I put my phone number there. Call me anytime, and you can always leave a message. I'll return your call, usually same day. I'll see that my light is flashing and give you a call back. Just let me know that you were here for my presentation and let me know what you're looking for. And there's my email there as well. I'll include all of this information in that email that I'll send out tomorrow as well, with all the links of the things that we looked at today.
Well, thank you very much, Michelle. That was really informative, and you really covered a lot.
It's a lot. I hope we're not too overwhelmed by what we saw, but like I said, it was kind of just an introduction for you to see what we've got available, and we are happy to guide you through on any services, digitally or otherwise, that you're looking for from our libraries.
One last question that
Yes.
came in from Marvin. Languages available, German, Russian?
In relation to reading materials or instruction of?
Marvin, unmute yourself.
Reading materials, German magazines especially.
Right. If we're back, let me see if I've got, I always get a drop down here. If I get my RB, we come back over to magazines and RB. If we go over to that filter, we can choose languages and see what's available. Oh, it said, sorry, no German titles. How about some French? Interesting. I know that there's, I was looking at, oh, wait a minute, I'm sorry. We might be, let me see if we're just too specific here. No. Because when I've been when I just look in here, I've seen, I'm quite certain I've seen Japanese. I was certain I saw, okay, well, there's one in Chinese. I'm not sure why they're giving us the option of Danish if we can't find a Danish. But I know I was looking at one that was a dog magazine, and I looked at one, oh, I can't read that. That's in German. So I know, I think that was the one that was with that dog by the door, as a matter of fact.
The corgi. No, yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's a bull.
We lernen Hund, isn't that? Let's see. Here's details. German. That's definitely German. So, oh, and I'm not sure if I said German and I had dogs. Okay, so I can't just browse every German publication that's out there, apparently. I thought I could. That's when I put in the search for dog, and then I filtered it to say German, and it gave me German dogs. So it might be a slightly more specific search than what I had thought we were looking for. Here in advanced search, you could probably look for your art and photo books in German and say search. Oh goodness. And I'm just gonna wind up with nothing this time, aren't I? What's something we're likely to find in, how about architecture in German? Oh goodness. Well, I'll leave you to play with those buttons, I guess. Right there in advanced search anyway. And it would be nice if this, again, like I said, this one is not the most robust search for all of the services that are out there, but is just a matter of, it would be nice if this just said all magazines and I could look for all of them that are in German. But perhaps if you have a title in mind is your best bet to search for it up here for the title of it to see if it's available.
Okay. Something like a news magazine like Der Spiegel or something like that.
I don't think, I'm pretty sure Der Spiegel is not available because it's, no, it's big, it's popular, and we don't always have access to those magazines. I think a lot of kind of hidden gems in here too, I would say, and hard to finds, as opposed to your bigger publications that of course want your bigger buck for a yearly subscription. And those aren't always made available to libraries.
Okay.
Anything else?
Thank you very much.
Thank you to everyone for coming today. I appreciate that. One of my favorite things to do is to hook people up with what they're looking for. And I hope that we accomplished at least a sneak preview of what it is that what you do have availability to through your library. And again, like I said, anytime, give us a call. Let us know if you need help anywhere along the way.
Thank you.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Michelle. As always, you've done a great job.
Oh, thank you, Miss Diane.
Thank you.
She was my grandson's first librarian, and he is a reader.
We love helping build readers and keep them around too, right?
Well, Michelle, there are some thank yous coming in on the chat room for you.
Oh, lovely. What's our total count for this afternoon too?
I think we had at as many as 16 participants.
Oh, excellent. Libraries love stats, you know, so I gotta keep
Well,
that.
let's call it 16 plus you.
Excellent, excellent. I'll take it. Well, it was a lovely way to spend a snowed-in afternoon with all of you. Thanks so much.
It was excellent. Thank you.
It was great.
Well, Michelle, I think I'll end the meeting. I don't hear anything else.
Okay, yep, sounds good. I was going to let you know too, Barbara, if you had any other kind of our database interests sometime, if you wanted a presentation, keep us in mind. I was just thinking of the other programs that we've done for Ollie as well. There's one that we do for Pronunciator, which is the database for languages learning.
Okay, yeah, we'll be in touch.
Yeah,
Definitely.
that one's
I think this works very, very well.
Yeah, definitely. It's a popular platform that not too many people know about, and languages of interest and learning. So that one's good. And we've got a few others in development too. So yeah, just you've got our contacts, or for me, or for David Wright. He's the community services kind of outreach manager that we have too. So you can get a hold of him. But yeah, we'd be happy to present again for you sometime if you'd like.
Great.
Okay, you take care of that uh,
I know.
left side, right side. It's hard to tell.
I
when-
left, yeah.
Left side. Okay, all right. You've got a diet of puddings and mashed potatoes in front of you.
Yeah, it says I'm supposed to have cold drinks for 24 hours or something. I
Oh,
don't know how I'm
goodness.
going to manage that.
Yeah. Well, best of luck to you. Glad you made it through. So,
No problems. Thank you.
yep, you're welcome. We'll talk to you later.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.